Today we have a story from Spazador Boot in Discord about what happens when a GM plays favorites. The main players are the GM, the bear, played by my friend, the Saiyan, played by the GM's then boyfriend, and me, the cat. For clarification, the cat is a female in the story. There were also other players, but to keep this story short, we'll just focus on this cast. The GM had created a small campaign with an overall half-baked idea. It was her first time running a game, and most of us had only played small one-off games with each other. The GM's campaign was comprised of bits and pieces of every anime she could think of, which boiled down to DBZ, Pokemon, and a little Monster Hunter. We started out with a bit of combat right off the bat, and had a little dialogue for our characters. The group worked together the best we could, and overall, we did fine. But we could tell that the focus was on one player in particular, that being the Saiyan. Every NPC we came across would flirt with the Saiyan, and I mean it was not subtle at all. The rest of us shook it off and carried on, taking note that the Saiyan was growing stronger and stronger as time passed. It was clear that he was wearing plot armor, while none of us even had the chance to level up yet. Once more, we rolled our eyes and pressed on, enjoying each other's company until the incident happened. The party had got ambushed by a monster that we couldn't see in the dark. I know what you're thinking. You guys have two beasts. You guys can totally see in the dark. Well, yes, but the thing was, the monster was so big that we couldn't tell it apart from the trees. That's the best way I can describe it. That's when the GM looked at me and said, "You're gonna get it," or something to that effect. Tentacles sprang from the tree line, targeting the cat. The bear stood in the way, trying to protect her from the monster, but without a roll or anything, the monster slapped him out of the way. The tentacles grabbed the cat and pulled her into the woods. And you know what happened next. I didn't consent to this and was given no chance to fight back. As the GM described in extreme detail, rolling a d20 for each time the monster finished and where it went. This went on for about 10 whole minutes before the GM got the hint that everyone wanted this to stop. The group finally found her in a state of undress and shame. After a moment to gather up all the emotions I had from this experience, I decided that the cat might be able to shake this off and maybe grow stronger as a character. Try to put it behind her. But when we had went to the next town, all of the NPCs we chatted with had a new topic to talk about on top of flirting with the Saiyan. Somehow, all the NPCs knew about what happened with Cat and the monster, and she was made the butt of every joke from most of the NPCs. The comments were like, "Well, I heard how loose your holes are," and "Can you even sit down?" It was like being in a nightmare corruption of champions high school. After a while of this, I had gotten my fill of this joke and decided that I was going to push back. The cat started attacking people who made these comments, and as for NPCs that slightly spoke as the GM, she would brutalize. At this point, I have to say that all of this took place within a one-day session, so it's safe to say things escalated quickly. When the cat started fighting back, that's when the GM called the game. The GM and her BF left while the rest of us hung out to talk about what just went down. We had plotted to kill the Saiyan in the next session, but the GM decided not to continue the game. "I don't really like running games," she said. Life went on, and today the bear is playing in my campaign that is currently in its 5th session. So yeah, this is definitely a "what were they thinking" situation. I like the fact that the cat fought back, but sitting through 10 minutes of details with all that sounds way too much. You fighting back is okay in character, but you need to speak up before it even gets to that part and make a big deal about it. What do you guys think?